Hi students, welcome to Alphos e-learning chemistry classes for second year. The running chapter is solid state and now we are in session number 15. In previous sessions we discussed about the crystal defects, that is imperfections, different kinds of imperfections and the reasons for these imperfections, that is nothing but how these defects are developed in crystals. All these details we discussed, like both in stoichiometric compounds and as well as in non-stoichiometric compounds also we observe different types of defects and the reasons. And now in continuation to that, still we have to discuss the impurity defects, because as we know the classification of the defects is nothing but one is electrical imperfections and the second one is point or atomic imperfections. In point or atomic imperfections we observe as three kinds. It is nothing but vacancy defects, also known as Schottky defects, and then interstitial defects, also known as Frenkel defects. And these two in stoichiometric, and in non-stoichiometric these two are observed by different ways. One is nothing but by metal excess, the other one is nothing but by metal deficiency. All these details we learned already. And now coming to the third one, that is nothing but impurity defect. To go for that impurity defect, how this impurity is created, and depending on that, here that impurity defect creation in the crystals makes these imperfections or defects into two classes on the other way. That is nothing but, here let me write those two. That is, one is intrinsic defects or imperfections, and second one is nothing but extrinsic imperfections or defects. First of all, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic is nothing but by virtue of the crystal, that is by birth itself, when it appears in the nothing but in the earth crust or in all others, it is of having the imperfections. That such type of imperfections by virtue of the crystal as it appears are known as intrinsic, it itself. And whereas extrinsic imperfections or extrinsic defects, these are because of the external impurity that is added to the crystal. And here just you remember, my dear students, that addition of impurity voluntarily or it is that is wantedly, if we are adding the impurity to the crystal, such addition, that process is known as doping. It is known as doping. Doping is nothing but that is intentionally addition of impurity to the crystal. And when intentionally added external impurity is added to the crystal, the defects observed in the crystal lattice are nothing but extrinsic defects. Are you clear with this one? And now again these intrinsic or extrinsic defects, these are again two types. One is nothing but point defects. Point defects nothing but these are confined to a region. At certain particular region in the crystal these are appeared. And next one is nothing but extended defects. Extended defects means these are extended in three dimensional. In three dimensions it is extended. Such type of defects or imperfections are known as extended imperfections. Clear? And as usual, these point defects or extended defects, these are of three kinds. That is nothing but what already we covered. One is vacancy, and the second one is interstitial, and third one is impurity defects. And now coming to this impurity defect, we have to discuss about that impurity defect. Impurity, if by virtue the crystal has, then it is creating this intrinsic type of defect, and if wantedly or intentionally if we are adding that impurity to the crystal, it is nothing but the process is known as doping. and the doped crystal is also exhibiting the defects. Clear? And now this impurity, what is impurity? Here impurity is nothing but a third substance, that is, simply we can say that foreign. Foreign means it is not coming from foreign, just you remember, it is nothing but the other element other than the constituent elements in the crystal. Say for example A, B are the two constituent elements that present in the crystal. Then if C is appearing in that crystal, then it is said to be foreign element. Clear? That foreign element atoms are present in the crystal. It is nothing but because of, either because of by virtue, by birth, or because of by doping. Clear? Then that will create the impurity defects. Clear? And now these impurity defects, again two kinds. Just you have to observe the classifications here and there. We are doing so many classifications for the imperfections. Clear? And on what criteria we are classifying all these defects, you have to remember. That is the main theme of this. Here no very few calculations are there, and almost no calculations. And you have to consider when they are giving these one type of criteria and what type of defect will be created because of this type. Then you have to observe, we have to find. Clear? That's why. Now impurity defects will be of two kinds, depending on whether these foreign element atoms means the third element atoms which is not actually present in the crystal. Say for example, if this is one metal and that metal is having the metal ions like this, they are present in a closed packing. All these are from the same metal and there it is of uniform, there is no impurity. Now all of a sudden some other element is coming, and that other element, now let us consider as black color. When it is coming into this as impurity, this element may be of existing in one of the lattice point here like this, here like this. That means the lattice point is occupied by this third substance, that is nothing but foreign element atoms. They are substituting the existing metal atoms. Such type of impurity is nothing but substitution impurity defect. When the foreign atoms, that is nothing but the third element or the other element which is not actually present in the crystal, is coming into the place of the atoms or the lattice points where already some other constituent particles, either atoms or ions, present. If they are replacing them, then the type of impurity defect is related to substitution impurity defect. Clear? And now let us go for the second one. Here this is another metal where all the metal atoms are closely packed, only metal atoms present in this. Just you observe like this, like this. And now the third substance, it is in blue, and now it is not replacing like this, just it is coming and it is existing here and there. And what are these sites? Here and there, the gaps between these atoms, already we discussed it, they are nothing but interstitial sites. Interstitial sites. In case if the foreign element or the third element atoms are existing or they are incorporating into the gaps, into interstitial site, then such type of defect is known as interstitial impurity defect. Are you observing the difference? Here in case of substitution impurity defect, these elements are replacing the atoms of that crystal already present in the lattice points. That means these elements are coming into the lattice points where they are replacing the existing atoms. But unlike that, in interstitial impurity defects, these atoms which are coming, they are not replacing any lattice point atoms, just they are adjusted or they are introduced, they are arranged in the gaps. Gaps are nothing but interstitial sites. When this element is present in interstitial sites as impurity, such type of impurity defect is known as interstitial impurity defects. Are you following this? But you remember, when such type of impurities are present in the crystals, they are creating drastic changes in their properties, the conducting properties or some other their chemical or physical properties. Because of these impurities, they are creating a drastic, that means sudden change, abnormal changes in their properties. Clear? And now let us discuss about introduction of impurity in covalent crystals. What happens? Introduction of impurity when added or introduced into covalent crystals, and what happen, how the properties will change. Let us discuss here. Introduction of impurity in covalent crystals. Let me explain this with the best example. The best examples, generally we know metals, and related to metal electronic conductor, they are the best conductors. Best conductors, all the pure metals are the best conductors because of the migration of the electrons. Clear? But some elements, let us consider, these are nothing but like silicon, germanium. As we know, these are known as metalloids. These are not metals, they are known as metalloids. In these metalloids are nothing but they behave like metals, they behave like non-metals, and in conducting nature they are of semiconductors. They are behaving like semiconductors. Why? Because at ordinary temperature means at room temperature, they are having non-conducting capacity or non-conducting nature. At ordinary temperature, they are non-conductors. But for this type of elements, when we are doping with some other elements like arsenic is nothing but from 5th group, or boron or gallium, these are from, or aluminium, these are from 3rd A group, and you know silicon and germanium, they are from 4th A group. So for 4th A group elements which are of supposed to exhibit metalloid nature and which are of having almost non-conducting nature at ordinary temperatures, at high temperatures they may are having the conducting capacity, but at ordinary means at room temperature they are non-conductors. For that, if we are doping these type of silicon or germanium metal crystals with 5th A group arsenic or 3rd A group boron or aluminium, like that elements, then these are of having the changes in their conducting property. They are now behaving as an excellent conductors. That conducting nature is nothing but semi-conducting nature. And first of all, we should go for what is the meaning of semiconductor. And already I think from your physics you know that the semiconductors are of two kinds. One is nothing but N-type semiconductors and the second one is P-type semiconductors. And to understand that what is N-type, what is P-type, and in our chemistry, let me try to explain that to make you to understand what is N-type and P-type semiconductor. N is nothing but negative. It is nothing but N refers to negative, P refers to positive. And you remember this N is nothing but electron. Negative is represented with electron, whereas the positive is represented with hole. Just you remember, hole is nothing but the vacancy created when the electron is left that place. When electron existing is a hole, and that hole, when electron is leaving that place, the remaining vacancy, that is vacancy created by electron, is nothing but hole, and that hole is automatically having this positive charge, because hole and electron combinedly are having neutral charges, as we know. And now let us consider what is semiconductors, and what are semiconductors, what is a semiconductor, and how it is of becoming n type and how it is of becoming p type, or intentionally how we can change that nature. Clear? And for that purpose, first of all, you should know, in semiconductors, as we know from this concept, the electrons and holes, these two are responsible for conductivity. Just you remember, both electrons and holes, these two are responsible. Clear? And actually semiconductors are having these electrons and holes with equal number of holes and electrons present in semiconductors, and this is happening in 4th A group elements, as we know. Now let us consider 4th A group element electronic configuration. Outermost configuration is ns2 np2, is it not? And now let us have a detailed discussion about this, and thereby you can easily understand how the metalloids or any conductor is changed to n type or p type, and what material we have to dope, we have to use for doping, so as to make n type or p type semiconductors. All these you can easily understand after this concept. Just you observe, in 4th A group elements, configuration is ns2 np2. Actually ns has 1 orbital and np is having 3 orbitals, and as you know, each orbital is having the provision for 2 electrons, that is, it is creating the accommodation for 2 electrons, is it not? And that accommodation created for electron is nothing but hole. Like that, in ns and np 2 plus 6, 8 holes will present totally. That's why in ns 2 electrons, in np 6 electron, total 8 electrons can exist, is it not? In s orbital 2 electrons because 2 holes present, and in p orbital 8 electrons because 6 holes. In p orbital 6 electrons because 6 holes present. Orbitals 3, each orbital has 2 holes, thereby it is accommodating for 2 electrons. Are you following? And now in case of 4th A group, ns2 np2, that means this ns 2 holes are filled with electrons, and in np, out of 8 holes which are present, out of 6 holes like this, only 2 holes are filled with electrons. That means totally out of 8 holes, only 4 holes filled with electrons, and 4 holes are vacant. 4 holes are filled with electrons because totally 8 holes are there, as we know, and 4 electrons are there as ns2 np2, and these 4 electrons are filling 4 holes. The remaining 4 holes are not filled. Clear? And now let me consider which holes are filled first. As per Hofbauer rule, the lower energy orbitals are filled first. Here also the orbitals which are having less energy will be filled first, and thereby these filled filled holes with electrons are like this. Just you observe, and unfilled vacant holes are arranged like this. That means they are segregating into 2 teams. One is with lower energy, which are filled with electron. The other one with higher energy. Because of their higher energy, they are not filled. Are you observing? That's why it is. Now just you observe, this is known as conducting band. This is known as conducting band, and this is known as valency band. Valency band and conducting band. Valency band and conducting band. Why it is valency band? Because it is nothing but the band, the segregation of all the holes which are filled with electron. Valence electrons are segregated here. They are arranged here. That's why it is valency band. And whereas in this case, why it is conducting band? Now let us observe. Generally, the gap is there between conducting and valency bands. There will be some sort of gap. In case of metals, that gap is almost all zero. It will appear like this. Here the electron field and here the valency. Electron field, that is the valency band and conducting bands are very close to each other. And here some other gap. And in non-conductors, here the conducting band with vacant holes, and here it will be the valency band with electrons, like this. That gap is responsible whether the material is conductor or non-conductor. Just you observe, when the gap is not there, automatically electron can migrate from this valency band to these holes, and because of this migration of electron to this hole, here the valency, that is the vacancy, will be created. That means, and now when vacancy created, this electron will migrate to this, and like that. Just let me observe here. If this electron is jumping to this hole, that is into conducting band, then here hole will be created. Are you following? And now when once hole created, this electron will migrate to this, and thereby hole will be migrating to this, and when it is migrating to this, hole will be like that. That is the reason why when electron is migrating to this, current is flowing in the opposite direction. I think you know that concept. When electrons are moving in one direction, in opposite direction we are observing the current flow. The reason is like this. When electron is moving in this direction, positive hole is moving in this direction. Actually, the hole is not migrating, only because of the electron migration. It seems to be hole is migrating in opposite direction. Following? And now, why this is conducting band? If the electron, which are all these holes are completely filled, one of the electron is getting into this band, then only there is migration of electron allowed. The migration of electron in this band is allowed when this electron is jumping to this, and it can go also like this. So that means in this electron migration or hole migration is possible, only one of the valence electron from the valence band is able to jump into this band where holes present, and because of that jumping, the electron migration is happening, and that is nothing but conductance. So the conductance is because of this band, which is allowing the electron to come into this, thereby creating conductance here. That's why it is known as conducting band. Clear? Are you clear? And now these holes are creating, or these holes are carrying positive charge, and electrons are carrying negative charge. Simply. And now this N type and P type, simply we can say like this. N type is having more electron concentration, and now P type is having more hole concentration. That is, vacancy is observed. Clear? And actually in semiconductors, like 4th group elements, 4 holes and 4 electrons, these two are equal in number. That's why they are pure semiconductors. Are you following? Now for such type of elements, are you getting this conducting and valency band? And now when for such 4th group elements which are of having let us consider silicon or germanium, and let me draw the that is nothing but orbital structure bonding among these silicon or germanium atoms when they are present in the crystal, and thereby you can easily understand that concept. Let me draw that first. This is silicon, for example, and it is having one orbital this side, another orbital this side, another orbital this side, another, and each orbital is having 2 holes, and out of these 2, 4, 8 holes, one hole is occupied with electron in each orbital like this, and thereby that is 4 electrons, 4 holes. It is in bonding with others, silicon, 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 and this electron, that is one electron hole, is now getting paired. That is here also the same scenario, holes and electrons are same, holes and electrons are same, and with that one, holes and electrons, when all these are holes and electrons, are same, like that, you just imagine. And in such a case where holes and electrons both are same in number, if one of these, say for example in this case here electron, electron, hole, hole, and equally distributed. And now let us imagine some third year group element is introduced. What is the nature of that third year group element? Let us study this first. Third year group, aluminum, let us consider. Aluminum has 3s2 3p1 configuration, that is in s orbital 2 holes, p orbitals are having 6 holes, but in that one 2 electrons here, 1 electron here, 3 electrons, 5 holes are present. Actually, there as 3 electrons present, these third year group elements are known as trivalent elements. Trivalent, tri means 3, valency, 3 valency in third year group is observed. Clear? And now coming to fifth year group, best example is arsenic. Fifth year group are having NS2 NP3 type of configuration. That means in NS 2 holes and in NP 6 holes present, of them 5 electrons are present in 5 electrons and 3 holes only are present. This, as it is having 5 valence electrons, it is known as pentavalent element. Pentavalent, valence is 5. Clear? And now let us assume the introduction, that is doping with each type of material or elements. In case if one of the silicon is replaced by aluminum atom, then what happens? As usual, it is also having 8 holes like this, but out of these 8 holes, it has only 3 electrons. That's why here 1 electron, here 1 electron, and here 1 electron. But this is having 2 holes which are not occupied. That means simply we can say that one vacant hole, excess hole is there for each atom. Like that, even a milligram of aluminum when doped, as we know 27 grams of aluminum is having 10 to the power of 6 into 10 to the power of 23 aluminum atoms, and now when it is 27 milligrams, it is having 6 into 10 to the power of 20 aluminum atoms. Even when 27 milligrams of aluminum is used for doping, each atom is creating hole, excess hole, 3 electrons but holes 5, not equal. So like that, each atom is creating hole, and so many atoms, when it is 27 milligrams, if we are, for example, for easy understanding, if we are using 10 to the power of 20 holes are created, all these holes are responsible for positive charge. Hence, when trivalent element is doped, when trivalent element is used for doping, it is of creating p-type semiconductor. P-type semiconductor. And similarly, when pentavalent element, say for example, instead of aluminum, if we are using arsenic, instead of excess hole, it is having excess electron, because here 5 electrons, 3 holes. One excess electron, in addition to 4, one more electron is there, and thereby because of excess electron concentration, it is of giving n-type semiconductor. That means just you can observe, when trivalent elements are used for doping, p-type semiconductors, pentavalent elements are used for doping, n-type semiconductors are formed. It is nothing but because of more concentration of electron, and it is nothing but because of more concentration of holes. Here the atoms are replacing that silicon, that is, it is nothing but one type of substitution impurity defect. Are you following this? So just they will ask for you, trivalent element is used for doping, then what type of semiconductor you can expect? p-type. Pentavalent elements are used for doping, then what type of semiconductor can you expect? n-type. Pentavalent is creating excess electrons, trivalent is creating excess holes. Clear? That is about doping in covalent compounds. And in case of introduction of impurity in ionic compounds, just in ionic compounds, generally one statement we require, that's all. Here in case of ionic compounds, when the impurity ion is of present ionic crystals, in ionic crystals, if say for example, if it is AgCl, Ag plus Cl minus, like that, AgCl, 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 Ag plus Cl minus, Ag plus Cl minus, Ag plus Cl minus, like that. If the crystal is from AgCl, in such a case, if we are doping this with any other impurity ion, best example for impurity creation is cadmium chloride. And as we know, cadmium is with +2. So now when one silver is replaced by cadmium, it is not only replacing one silver, one cadmium, when it is divalent, automatically it is of occupying one Ag plus place, and it is creating the other Ag plus vacancy, because Cd plus 2 can be can neutralize 2 chloride ion charge. So each chloride cadmium can replace 2 silver atoms, and one position is occupied by this and the other position is vacant. That's why when the oxidation state of the impurity ion is more than the substituted ion, then vacancy will be created. Once vacancy is created, it is responsible for the conductivity. So that means altogether in ionic crystals, when doping is done with the ions which are of having a different oxidation state from that of the ion present in the crystal, then it is of creating some sort of electrical conductance difference because of that defect. That will happen in ionic crystals. Clear? Here they may be asked to how many holes will be generated. The number of moles of cadmium that is added to this crystal, the same number of holes will be created. This is 1 cadmium added, 1 hole created, 10 to the power of 6 cadmium ions added, 10 to the power of 6 holes will be created. Clear? Like that, this is the impurity defects in crystals. And in coming sessions, the last part of the lesson, it is nothing but the properties of crystal lattices or crystal solids, in case of electrical conductance or electrical property, magnetic property, dielectric properties, all these we have to discuss in the coming sessions. Clear? Thank you.